All right. Welcome, everybody. Again, thanks so much for joining today. Today, we're going to talk about Meraki for state and local government. My name is Doug Sutter, Cisco Meraki inside sales rep, and I actually cover Eastern Pennsylvania. So, really excited to cover today's content. Got a lot of fantastic stuff to cover in a very short amount of time. So, I'll run through pretty quickly, but want to preface today's webinar by saying, along the way, we want to make this really interactive. So please feel free to ask questions as we go through the content. And if you do have questions, feel free to put that into the question and answer section of the WebEx. And we have people standing by that will answer those questions as we go. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and jump on in. So today, this is just a brief overview, what we're going to cover, starting with an introduction for anybody on the call today that may not be familiar with Cisco Meraki and how we differentiate our solution from a lot of what's out there in the market today. We're also going to cover why you should choose Cisco Meraki in your environment, cover a few case studies, and really where the most fun for myself and hopefully everybody on the call today and most impactful information is going to be in that live demo. We're actually going to jump into our dashboard here in our San Francisco headquarter location and show you what a real production dashboard looks like. Next, we're going to cover the Meraki solution and all our offering, which we call a full stack solution. Talk about some next steps, and then if we have a little bit of time, hopefully jump into a Q&A as well. But as I mentioned, feel free to ask questions along the way. We have people standing by that will get those answered as we go. Okay, so a little bit about Cisco Meraki. As I mentioned, some people on this call may or may not be familiar with our solution and how we differentiate from a lot of what's out there in today's highly competitive environment. So I'll take a step back and just let you know that here at Meraki, our passion, our goal, our mission is to simplify IT, and that's all through a single cloud managed dashboard. And you can see there on the left hand side, it's really the dashboard that is the big driving force and differentiation on our solution. And everything is managed through that single pane of glass, that single dashboard. And I hate to overuse that word, like we've all heard in this industry, single pane of glass, but it really is true. When it comes to Cisco Meraki, the best part of our solution is that everything is in that one place. You can easily jump from wireless to switching to your firewall, what we call our MX, to systems manager and device management to security cameras, one of our newest product lines. So it really is amazingly powerful, not only from a time and cost perspective for anybody on the call today, but also you just get so much more visibility, so much more insight into what type of traffic is within your network, what are people doing with those devices, what applications are accessing, and so forth, on not just wired, but also wireless and so forth, basically across your entire network. So that's really when the power of Meraki shines, is getting visibility into your entire network. But again, we want to simplify that process. So our dashboard is not only rich and super powerful, a bunch of rich analytics and everything that you would need to know about your network, but it's so intuitive. It's so easy to navigate. I can tell you, I'm no engineer, and if I can navigate the dashboard, as I'm going to show you a little later, trust me, anybody can. So with that said, you can see it's a complete cloud managed solution. As I mentioned, wireless is really our bread and butter. That's how most customers know our solution. But we have a full range of networking solutions, including switching, security, UEM or MDM, security cameras, and so forth. A lot of that, which is what I'll cover today. And you can just see it's so exciting to see how many more customers are being added or adopting Meraki on a daily basis, and we can hardly keep these numbers up up to date. It's growing so quickly. You can see 250,000 unique customers and growing, 3.5 million Meraki devices online, and over 5.5 million active Meraki dashboard users. So it's just really great to see how much this solution is just being adopted across all verticals. So out of band cloud management. This is again Our architecture is very unique compared to some of the solutions that are on the market. And what is amazing about having an out-of-band cloud management architecture is, first and foremost, as I mentioned, it's intuitive. It is a simple browser-based dashboard that you can access from anywhere in the world on any device. We have applications for Android, for iPhones, for tablets. Again, from any browser on a laptop, you can jump in, make configuration changes, troubleshoot, do whatever you need to do with your network without necessarily having to be on site. And that is huge in the state and local government sector because a lot of people have distributed locations, and rather than having to have a truck roll to each location, our browser, simplified browser-based dashboard, makes it super easy and really powerful for you to get what you need done. So it's very intuitive. Secondly, it is scalable and unlimited scalability, unlimited throughput, no bottlenecks, nothing, no piece of hardware within your infrastructure that would limit how much you can grow. And as you add more sites on, again, you don't have to buy a controller or some licensing or a lot of the stuff that may limit scalability in other solutions. You can add devices or sites in minutes. We did a webinar recently where a school was able to actually put up an entire network refresh within minutes rather than weeks or months. So really is fantastic how scalable our solution is. It is extremely reliable. A lot of times I get the question of how reliable is your dashboard? What happens if your dashboard goes down? Want to assure everybody on the call today that we have multiple data centers around the world. So redundancy absolutely built into a Cisco Meraki solution in our dashboard. 4 nines of uptime, so you can rest assured that the Meraki dashboard will be there when you need it. And it is extremely secure. No user traffic passes through the Meraki cloud. You can see it's just management data, and user traffic does not pass through the cloud. It's fully HIPAA and PCI compliant. We do third-party security audits, daily penetration testing, and this last bullet point I don't want to just skim over because this is such an amazing thing at Cisco Meraki, is that we have automatic firmware and security updates that you as the user schedule. So you don't have to worry about these updates happening during mission critical times. But secondly, with a Cisco Meraki solution, we're not just pushing firmware that addresses vulnerabilities or things like that. We're actually pushing firmware that also includes enhancements, and we'll get into the licensing and a lot of how Cisco Meraki works. But the point is, we continually have our products evolve and new features come out that are pushed to all customers for free. We don't believe in tiered licensing models and making it really cumbersome, having to worry about what features are included with what. Every customer gets every feature built into their dashboard, and as new features come out, they're automatically pushed. So it's amazing to have customers call me and go, Doug, this is really cool. I just logged in and saw that this was available. I've been wanting that for years, and now it's there. Didn't even know it, so thank you. And really is powerful that gets pushed to all customers automatically. Now, I'd say if you want more reliability and security information, you can see there meraki.cisco.com/trust. All right, so why should you choose Cisco Meraki in your environment? Specifically, state and local government, we know that there are a lot of key challenges that you deal with on a daily basis. So I think a lot of these points, everybody on the call would agree they're facing in one way, shape, or another. First and foremost, lean IT teams. We understand here at Cisco Meraki that you're being asked to do more with less resources, whether that's a limited IT staff, less budget, whatever the case may be. You can see these two bullet points are tied together, that again, you're being asked to do more with less. And that's again where Cisco Meraki comes in, because we simplify the network solution so that it gets you back to being able to do the additional things to make your user experience even better outside of just having to configure switches and configure access points. With state and local, there's also the challenge of distributed locations. Again, with that limited IT team, the tight budgets, you have offices that are, in remote locations or spread apart across, miles or hundreds of miles, thousands of miles. With Cisco Meraki, again, having that cloud-based dashboard, you can jump in and make configuration changes anywhere in the world with just a few clicks, rather than having to, roll a truck or go on site, especially even to troubleshoot. And I'll get into some of the troubleshooting tools. So fantastic, especially for distributed locations. And then last but not least, we know, going digital. Residents want to access information digitally. And a lot of the initiatives I'm coming across in state and local are things like smart city initiatives and, all this stuff to make, again, having wireless or having a wired network is kind of table stakes. A lot of the challenges are taking that to the next level. How are we, making the user experience just that much more rich and more user friendly? So we understand a lot of those challenges, and where Meraki can really step in. I covered some of this already, but Meraki, for those local, state and local government IT teams, it will save you time. And when we save you time, that's really frees you up to spend more time on your strategic initiatives and less on that day-to-day management. It also improves that security and uptime. As I mentioned, we push out automatically not only, any necessary firmware updates to address vulnerabilities. We provide a 24/7 uptime and connectivity to all sites, prioritizing that really sensitive traffic. Better connectivity. So for high density and remote environments, we have built-in location analytics and performance monitoring, especially on the wireless side. We just released, or will be releasing soon, it's in beta right now, but wireless health, which is just a fantastic way of just seeing, how your network is performing. And again, that's a free enhancement that's going to be coming to all wireless customers. So again, we're just giving more and more tools and resources to you to just make sure that you're getting better connectivity, whether it's through the equipment or through the dashboard itself. And last but not least, we can help you really deploy rapidly with Cisco Meraki. Customers love that you can pre-configure all products even before they arrive at your location. Put in the order number, and you can make everything, all the configurations you need, have it set up and ready to go. So either the person on site just plugs it in, it pulls its configuration, and it's up and running. So you may not even have to go on sites, especially at these remote locations. So as I mentioned, it takes days, even hours, rather than months, like a traditional solution may take. And then enabling community workers and residents. We can help empower next generation workers by increasing collaboration across agencies. Also improving that productivity and efficiency, and making data smarter so that you can make those timely decisions as well. As I mentioned, things like wireless health. One thing that it tells you is, how, if APs are, maxing out our clients, or not having necessarily the best experience because too many clients are connected at any given time. That helps you make really, really timely decisions and maybe add access points here and there as well. We have heat mapping and a lot of really cool stuff built in the dashboard. You can securely access government data, and again, not have to worry about any information being passed through the cloud. So you can just be rest assured that your information is safe with a Cisco Meraki solution. Spend more time in the field, again, getting back to the things that you're more passionate about, and those other initiatives that are on your plate. And that also gets you back to attracting new businesses and talented workers as well. As far as the citizen experience goes, you can also improve that with the Cisco Meraki solution by providing equal access to education, job posting, and important resources, giving access to important community information, improving resident safety, and enabling citizens to more effectively participate in the community and attract and retain new residents. And this really goes back to, as I mentioned, the driver around like the smart city initiatives that I come across is they want to make their city a draw for people that may want to move in and have the type of smart connectivity that they see in other really booming and progressive cities. So a Cisco Meraki solution can absolutely help improve that citizen experience and really draw in new residents and make the experience so much better. So a few case studies that we want to cover today. I'll skim through, but a lot of this stuff is on our website. Again, as you contact your Cisco Meraki representative, if you want some local references, we'd love to provide local references to customers that have been using Meraki and can give you their true and uncandid experience. So let us know. But you can see here, this is just a small portion of the thousands of customers that have chosen a Cisco Meraki solution and absolutely been thrilled, like Visalia and Santa Clara and California Fish and Wildlife and so forth. So again, trusted by thousands of customers. And one that we want to cover today is Durham, New Hampshire. And a little bit about Durham. It is 8,000 permanent residents. It's home to the University of New Hampshire and has an increasing population to 14,000 residents. The town hall is the main office and data center with 5 branch locations and 80 government staff members. So a pretty big local government uh, um, deployment. And when it comes to Cisco Meraki, they actually deployed the full stack, which means wireless, switching, security appliance, and they did one at each location. They have wireless at the town hall, public library, the public works, and police station. They're using our site-to-site VPN for communication between town sites, and even using our systems manager to track government devices like government iPads or tablets or phones, whatever the case may be. Systems Manager is a fantastic solution to make sure that they're tracking, that if a device gets lost or stolen, they can wipe it, and so forth, just to basically make sure that that device is staying nice and secure, again, because of the government resources that may be accessed on that device. But the results here at Durham is that a Cisco Meraki solution was able to gave them simple management and complete visibility, which they weren't able to accomplish in another solution, or that they had to go into one interface to get wired traffic information, wireless, they had to go to another. So this gave them a simple one place where they could go and get complete visibility. They also had remote management and client visibility for those remote workers. It allowed them to enable workers to easily communicate between town sites and also provided wireless to workers and residents across town, which again really enhanced that resident experience and just really made them kind of that place to go for a really comprehensive um, technology experience within the city. The city of Rancho Cordova, that's here in California, not too far away from where I was born and raised. And they are located in Sacramento with roughly 65,000 residents, 120 employees and contractors employed within the city, 2 government buildings, neighborhood services, and city hall. And with the Meraki deployment, they deployed Meraki APs, security appliance, and switches at the city hall. They're using Systems Manager as well to manage and push apps to any of those city-owned devices. They have a Z1, which is our teleworker unit in code enforcement and animal service vehicles. So that's a fantastic use case I've come across, as well as being able to connect those vehicles and have a secured connection back to the main site. And they're using the Meraki MX for site-to-site VPN between building locations. So here in the city of Rancho Cordova, the result was it gave IT increased network speed and configuration flexibility. It provided Wi-Fi in public spaces like the golf course, senior center, parks, and it gave equal access to residents. Again, that were wanting to have that type of cutting-edge network experience. It connected remote sites back to the network easily, as I mentioned, even when they're on the road. which has made them just move so much faster and just again give a unified visibility across any user on any device, wherever they may be. And we also have the city of Visalia, again, here in California. And as you can see here, we're moving up in the residential count to 130,000. Visalia Transit operates 34 fixed route buses and 12 demand response buses. They have downtown trolley service with 5 vehicles and seasonal service from Visalia to Sequoia National Park with 21 vehicles. In their Meraki deployment, they deployed 34 fixed route buses, all pre-configured and easily installed. They have splash page configured to send riders to a transit homepage. So imagine the experience hopping on one of these transit vehicles and being able to easily connect and route back to their homepage. One SSID with open access to all buses, and it's a cloud-managed solution with a single pane of glass. And for that, the result was free Wi-Fi for the public, and you can just imagine how awesome that would be for people riding their transit system. They have special town events and use social buses for free Wi-Fi. And the transit team uses analytics to see which routes have the most Wi-Fi usage, which again kind of gives them the ability to make changes or basically get the information they need to make informed decisions about their network and maybe also their transit routes as well. And they can stop or they can see top usage by application, so the marketing team can tailor campaigns around specific, campaigns that the city of Visalia may have. So fantastic to even get that layer 7 visibility into what applications are being most used by writers. So with that said, again, those are just a few real easy use cases and case studies to reference, but we have thousands that we'd love to put you into contact with, so reach out to your Cisco Meraki rep. So now, without further ado, I'm going to jump into what I hope would be the most exciting part of today's call, an actual live demonstration of our production dashboard. So as you can see here, I'm going to start with the Cisco Meraki website. You just go to meraki.com. And the reason I started here is I want to again highlight that you can access your Cisco Meraki dashboard from anywhere in the world on any device. You can see a picture there of looks like an iPhone that has the Meraki app loaded on it. And the person is able to configure, see analytics, and all the great stuff you'd be able to do from any browser-based dashboard or any browser-based device. So if I go ahead and log in, that's going to take me into the login page. And once we get logged in, you can see we're going to see our corporate headquarter location here. And it's going to take us to our client page. So just to take a step back, for anybody that's not familiar with Cisco Meraki dashboard, I want to point out and illustrate how it's laid out and configured. Again, because our mission is to simplify and make this as intuitive as possible for you and your team. So on the left-hand side here, you can see we have a drop-down box for all the networks within our organization. So an organization is kind of the overarching umbrella that encompasses all the networks. And these are networks that are customizable. You can create a network for each location. You can create a network for a device type. So you can see here we have Chicago, we have San Francisco, we have Chicago security. So we broke it out by device type as well. So however you want to break out your networks, you can do so. And again, this just goes back to how quickly you can jump between locations if you want to break out different networks. A few clicks and you're in a remote site within seconds. Within that network, you can see all the Cisco Meraki equipment you have on the left-hand side here. Again, taking you back to that single pane of glass concept, that you can easily jump in and make configuration changes or monitor switching, and then in 2 seconds be into your cameras or wireless, whatever the case may be. So again, very simple, very intuitive. And back to that point, there's really 2 options under any product page here on the left-hand side. There you can either monitor, which gives you any of that really rich, robust analytics and information about that product and the clients. or you can make configuration changes and deploy those within seconds. So really couldn't be more intuitive, more simplified than that. So um, we will go ahead and start with our network-wide clients page. As you can see, that's what it brought us into. And what's great about this page is you can drill down and see whichever the time frame is, the last day, the last 2 hours, last week, whatever the time frame is. It'll show you all the analytics associated with that window of time. You can see a breakdown and a graph here of clients over that amount of time as well. You get a whole list of both wired and wireless clients, as you can see here is indicated by a little port symbol or a wireless symbol. You can see if they're connected being green, if they are disconnected being gray. You get all the great information like when they were last seen, their overall usage, operating system. You can even add columns if there's information you want to see as well. So this page is customizable, and once you customize it, you can even download and retain that information, send it to whoever you may need to for reporting purposes or whatnot. So fantastic information just right here on the client page. And again, because we have switching and wireless in our environment, we're seeing information across both wireless and wired. I can even go in and see if I search for a name, I'll go ahead and call myself out, but here is my laptop. I happen to be physically plugged in right now on the webinar, but I could quickly jump into my device, get some really great information about my client as well. But before I do, just want to also cover a few other things. Let's go ahead and delete that. And what's great as well, you get an application pie chart here on the right-hand side. So again, back to that, you get some really fantastic layer 7 visibility into what applications are being accessed within your environment. And you can see here from a high-level San Francisco corporate perspective, these are all the applications that are being accessed, like YouTube, Hotmail, Google, so forth, Netflix down here. And you can see what the usage is, percentage of overall usage, and so forth. And I could even jump into any of these applications. So a scenario that I come across quite often is, somebody comes to IT and says, hey, I'm having an issue. It doesn't seem like my device is connecting, or I'm getting really slow speeds. Can you look into it? One area that you can start with is this application pie chart and say, has there been a spike in usage on maybe YouTube and 4K video, or something that's taking up some network bandwidth within your environment? And if so, let's say YouTube was, our #1 application up here, and you can see that there's been a lot of usage or spike in usage. You can jump into YouTube, and from there, it'll pull up all the information associated with YouTube, like clients who have been accessing that application, its overall usage within any given time, so you can see when the spikes occurred. And in the event, again, someone comes to you and says, there's been some network latency or whatever, you can actually go into and see, oh, it looks like this one user is contributing and streaming a ton of YouTube or whatever the case may be. You can click on that user, and within, just as you saw, a few clicks, I went from network-wide level information to a specific application, and now I'm down to a specific client. And what's great about this is Stefan here. It shows when he was the current status, so he's currently connected, and when he was associated since May 15th at 12:40. What SSID is connected to, the actual access point, and it's overlaid with a map here of our location. And we place the AP within that map, so it even knows where that access point is in association with other access points on that floor. You can see the access point that he is currently connected to is darker green, where the access points surrounding are lighter green. You can even see the signal, user information, device type, and so forth. You even get usage information for this client over the last day. You can see further out to the last 2 hours, last week, last 30 days, whatever the case may be. You even get an application pie chart specific to this user. And I gotta say, I know him. He sits pretty close to me in the office here, so um, this would be something I probably want to take back to him and figure out why there's so much YouTube usage on his device. But again, you can see all the corresponding application information. Anything that's grayed out, just as a caveat, so we use some internal resources here, so it's grayed out for any Meraki proprietary information. But you can see Salesforce and so forth. Now, again, in the event that this, maybe I don't want to block YouTube across my network, but I definitely want to slow Stefan down and say, either throttle him back or maybe block him from the network temporarily. Right down here under policy, super powerful that I can go in and completely block Stefan and say CIT, or I can block him indefinitely and a pop-up will show up on the device. I can also add him to a group policy. So if I want to throttle him where he can't access any video, which would be a good use case for this YouTube example, or maybe I just want to throttle him back, or just add him to a bandwidth abuser group policy, I can do all that. And again, these are completely customizable. You can either block specific applications, throttle overall bandwidth, whatever the case may be, you can set those up and apply those directly to this device within seconds. So again, pretty easy way to go from entire network-wide visibility, drill down to an application, then to a client, and even take action on that client as well. You can see here's a troubleshooting option. If in the reverse, Stefan came to me and said, hey, my device is having issues connecting, you can ping from this device and get loss rate, average latency, and so forth. And because we have Systems Manager installed on Stefan's device, I want to jump in really quickly and show you what you'd get additional by having these devices enrolled in Systems Manager. And what's great about this is you're going to get not only information for when this device is within your network and connected, but also when it's off the network as well. So same really robust client information, operating system information, and then there's even this security section. So you can set up geofencing security so that if the device exits a certain geofencing area, you get alerted. You also can set up security policies and so forth. So really amazing that you can basically get information on what it's doing even when it's off the network as well. You can see storage information, its online or offline status. But most importantly, with Systems Manager, you get some extra tools at your fingertips in case that device goes missing or lost or stolen. You can erase the device, and it's grayed out a little on my profile. Obviously, they don't want me going in and erasing company devices, so I don't have the option, but you would as a network administrator. You could erase the device, you can selectively wipe it, so you're only wiping certain information. You could lock it or even change the password if the password gets disabled. So you get some really fantastic ability at your fingertips. You can see here, you can CLI in, you can do screenshots and remote desktop. You can send notifications to this device. You can push updates and so on and so forth. So just a fantastic, like I said, list of live tools that you get in addition when Systems Manager is on any device. You get a connection log over time, preferred SSIDs, and a list of the SSIDs this device has been associated with, including any 5G and maybe tethered connections. You get restrictions, applications, whether which applications are installed, what many applications that are maybe missing, and you can reinstall them if you'd like. You get a full event log, activity log. So again, won't go into each one of these, but hopefully what you're taking away again is that this is so intuitive. It's such, but although it's intuitive, you're not lacking any information. It's very, very rich. And pretty much all the data you would need to make informed decisions or take action on a device. So back to Stefan's device. What another amazing feature that I love is if Stefan was to come to us and say, again, he's having issues connecting, but maybe not across the entire network, maybe only in a certain part of the building. One thing that we do that I find customers really, really love is if you've ever built out a topology page of your network. I'm not sure if anybody has, because my understanding is it's time consuming. It can be very costly, and the minute you're done, you unplug one port and plug into another, it's out of date almost instantaneously. So here at Cisco Meraki, we built a topology page for you. And when you have a Cisco Meraki switch, you can see here I went in under Stefan's client, so it knows his MAC address. And if I scroll down, everything is kind of grayed out that Stefan is not associated with Stefan's device. But what is green here is that access point. So again, because Stefan came to us and said, "Hey, I'm having connectivity issues," this is a great way to say, "Okay, is it the access point? No, it's green. Is it the switch closet that this access point is going into? No, that's green," and so on and so forth, all the way out to the internet. So, fantastic way to quickly troubleshoot through a topology page. You can see here anything in yellow is alerting, anything in red is offline. And right now, which is pretty unique, we actually have a lab downstairs, so we're constantly breaking and making changes to our network. So normally I'd see something in yellow or red, but right now it looks like we're 100% green. Um, so basically, or no, like, I took that away. So now there are a few alerting devices, but nothing offline. So again, something in yellow would say alerting. Something in red would mean that that device is offline. But as we make changes, this topology map gets updated. So whether it's access point switches or any other Meraki device, it'll show up here in the topology page. And what's great is if I hover over any of those devices, this is a hyperlink, so I could jump right into that switch access point. I get model information, how many active ports since this is a switch. If it was an access point, you can see the number of clients. You can see all switches in a closet or a stack. I could jump into those switches and so forth. So not only is it a topology page, but is actually really useful and you can jump into a specific piece of equipment as well. We even included, and this is in beta right now, but available to everybody, layer 3 topology information. So if you want to see VLAN and client information across your network as well, you get that visibility too. So really, really fantastic solution that my customers just seem to really, really find value in. And let's go down back to, we'll just pick an access point here. And again, let's say that this access point when Stefan came to us was maybe yellow. You can actually jump into that MR52 in this case. It says that there are 0 connected clients, but as it pulls up, you can see the model information. You get an overlay of a Google map, or you can import your own maps here. You get the address information, what SSIDs are being broadcast, channel information, all the public IP, gateway, DNS, all the, again, really robust network information you may need, whether firmware is updated and so forth, configurations. But you're also going to see a summary here. So we're on the summary tab, and as this loads, you're seeing live data, any uplink traffic, and this will keep coming through and adjust based on any uplink traffic. Current clients, you can see here is 0, but it'll show you a live list of any clients that are connected. You also get radius and VLAN request statuses here, where is radius okay, DNS okay, DHCP, and so forth. You get historical data of connection over the last day, the last week, month. So if the device happened to be offline, you'll see a sliver or a chunk of red here. So you can pinpoint when that event occurred. You even get usage as well, and then total number of clients that have been seen on this device within the last day. Again, these are hyperlinks, so I could click into this device. And then back to the last, or to the left-hand side here, you can even see, because this is a Meraki switch, it knows what switch and at what port this AP is plugged into. So I could even jump into that specific port, which I'll do in here in a little bit. But before I move on, just want to again show you that This is the summary page, but you get a full event log. You can see a location, either how use our built-in Google Map integration, or you can overlay, as we did, our building map and place access points within that building. You can even take a photo of where this access point is within your building. So if you're trying to direct somebody to this specific access point, they can see a photo of that. But another really cool feature here is this troubleshooting or tools tab that'll allow you to even blink the LEDs. So again, if you're trying to direct somebody to a remote location to either swap out or look at an access point or piece of equipment, you can blink the LEDs, you can run a throughput test, and so forth. But back to what I talked about earlier with our firmware updates and pushing out new features. This RF tab is brand new. Over the last few months or so, we released this. And what's great about this is it gives you even more ability to troubleshoot your wireless. If you click over and hover over any of these little circles, it shows an event that occurred. In this case, if you hit details, you can see an RF auto channel change occurred. You can see what the new channel is, old channel, radio, and so forth. So you can see events, and even during that time, you get active clients and channel utilization and overall usage and so forth. If there are any mesh neighbors, they would show up here as well. So a fantastic addition, again, that was free, pushed out to all wireless customers. And wireless, as I mentioned, is one of our bread and butter, our table stakes here at Meraki, and even this product continues to get better and better over time. So let's say I wanted to drill in a little further and see some switching information. I can even go to that specific switch, or I can go over here to our switch page here on the left-hand side and go into our full list of switches or switch ports. But again, kind of following this scenario, let's say the access point's yellow. I want to dig a little bit deeper and see maybe what's going on from the switch perspective. I can go here to our switches. You get a visual representation of this switch, what model it is, where it is within the building. And hopefully this looks very familiar, again, in the effort of making it as intuitive and simple as possible. Once you know one Meraki product like wireless or switching, it's transferable across pretty much every other Meraki solution so that each page looks very, very similar, just tailored to whatever the product line may be. So you're seeing a visual representation of this switch. Any lightning bolt is a device that's drawing PoE power. You can see uplink. I can even click on any of these ports if I wanted. I get connectivity over time, just like with access points, client usage, list of connected clients. Same, information like ports. I can see each port, whether it's trunk or, and then VLAN, native VLAN, current traffic information, PoE usage. A lot of really, really good, again, information from a port perspective. See power information, event layer 3 routing, event log, location. But want to just really quickly touch on tools, because very similar troubleshooting tools available from the switching side as compared to the access points that I just showed you, like blinking LEDs, running a throughput test. But what I find customers really find value in is this cable test. If you've done one in the past, what I hear is it's very expensive, very cumbersome. You need specialized equipment a lot of time. With Cisco Meraki, our switches will run a cable test for you. So pretty valuable, and I've had a lot of customers come back really raving about that troubleshooting feature. And now back to our access point. If instead of going into that switch, I wanted to instead go into the port that this access point is plugged into, it's as simple as clicking that port, and it will take us into that same tab here, the port tab, but only highlight port 46, which is that MR52, which is connected. And you can see port traffic, what type of configuration, and then its status, clients that are connected. You can troubleshoot from here and do a cable test. You can even cycle that port and so forth. So again, hopefully that's just showing that you can go within, you can follow basically the rabbit hole from high level information down to clients, down to a specific device, and then even go into a specific port from an access point to a switch to a port, however the case may be, can be done within the dashboard or by going into each product over here on the left-hand side as well. So again, I'm only going to be able to cover so much today on a short call. I'd really invite you to reach out to your Cisco Meraki rep to learn about any of the products I wasn't able to cover today. But I want to finish up our demo and just quickly, is one of the newest products to our portfolio, and really, really exciting because what's great about our solution from security camera perspective is no NVR, no DVR required, so you can save time and save money on that piece of equipment that isn't necessary within a Meraki solution. Just like an access point, all it needs is PoE power, data, and it's up and running. So makes it extremely easy to deploy this solution, to configure it. And what's great is you're viewing our cameras live here at our headquarter location. And again, it's from that single pane of glass dashboard from any device in the world. So you don't have to worry about a cumbersome VPN setup. If an event occurs, you can be watching live footage from your iPhone, from your tablet, from anywhere in the world. What's great too is you can even divvy out access to local fire, to local, and be able to view whichever cameras you specify they can view, and basically give them admin access. And they could be, again, in the event of a situation, can be viewing live footage from any device while they're going on site or whatnot. So just a really quick highlight of a few of the amazing features that we offer. Again, these are great security cameras to ensure physical safety, and first and foremost we want to make sure that they do that, which they do really well, but we want to make our cameras even better than that. It's not just about physical security. We also want to include a lot of analytics and really rich features like the rest of the Meraki solution. So we have things like motion search, where if somebody comes to you and says, I set down a device, I turned around and it's gone, instead of having to fast forward and rewind and pause to find that actual event, you can use a motion search, highlight a little section of the camera, and it'll pull up a log of all events that occurred within that square. So I can quickly jump around and see that, in this case, it's our stairwell. So somebody probably walked through that little square. I can see if that's the event I'm looking for. If it's not, scroll down again and jump to the next event. So makes it really easy to find exactly what I'm looking for. And then when I want to export, simply press this export button here at the top, and I can send it, either download it to myself or my device, or send it to local police and law enforcement with a URL that maybe expires. It's a universal format MP4, so no software needed, or having to burn CDs or DVDs. Really fantastic way to get what is needed to the right people within seconds. So with that said, we also have a fantastic new feature. If I jump into a specific camera here, I'm going to go into our stairwell, and if we do a motion search just to find an event that occurred, let's go back here. And if I show people, what's great is this is gonna, what we call object detection. It's gonna recognize that somebody is walking through the frame, and what that's gonna do is give just some amazing analytics as to what the peak occupancy was in a certain area, the highest utilized hour, total entrances, and even give a heat what areas most traffic is occurring within that location. So fantastic if you're trying to make informed decisions about maybe where extra access points are needed or other information, or if there's been traffic over weekends or times where people shouldn't be walking through the area as well. Of course, we have alerting and all the things so that you can sit back and make sure that if motion is detected, that you are alerted via email, via text, or whatever the case may be, and that can be assigned to whoever you choose. So local police and fire can be alerted directly as well if you'd like. So that's just the really, really high level. There's many more features. that are available with our cameras, and this product is evolving so fast that more and more are coming almost, it seems like, on a daily basis. So really exciting. And again, I'd ask that you take the time and reach out to your Meraki rep who can really spend the time and show you all the features within that product line. So with that said, we'll go ahead and jump back into the remaining part of today's webinar and just cover some of the Meraki solutions that maybe I wasn't able to cover today, some action items and next steps for everybody on the call. So the Meraki solution, again, I was able to touch on some of the features of a lot of these, but I wasn't able to get into security appliances or our Meraki Insight Systems Manager. Did briefly, but you can see here this is the full stack, and hopefully what I was able to demonstrate in our demo was that the more Cisco Meraki you have within your environment, the easier it makes your life, the more it frees up, and just the more powerful the information is and robust the information is you're seeing across your network. So really ask again that you reach out and learn more about the full Meraki solution. We're happy to send out any trial gear and get you anything that you may be interested so you can test it within your environment. When it comes to licensing, we get this question a lot. How does our licensing work? And it's a simple, as everything is Meraki, a simple one-to-one licensing to hardware model. So every piece of hardware has an associated license. As I mentioned and showed you a few of the really cool new updates that came here recently, because of licensing, you get that firmware and new feature updates, and there's no charge along the way as new things come out. Everything is included within that license. You get 24/7 end user support from our fantastic support team that follows the sun. We have a amazing support team here in San Francisco, the UK, Australia. So whatever time, day or night you need support, we're here to help. And then warranty on any hardware, and length of the hardware varies based on product. And if you want more information, reach out to your Cisco Meraki rep. Reducing costs and adding intelligence. Hopefully I covered some of that today, that just, a Cisco Meraki solution is fast, reliable, and secured. And then whether it's from town hall to branch departments, it's just going to free up time and reduce cost, so you can really quickly see a return on your investment and get you out there to be able to take on some of those initiatives that are more pressing and more important to those on the call today. So next steps for everyone on the call, I'd really suggest checking out our blog at meraki.cisco.com/blog. This is where a lot of our latest releases, newest information is posted. If you really want to stay abreast and upfront with all the things we're doing, this is a great place to go to see new updates and alerts. Second would be if you want to see any piece of equipment that we either discussed today or that you see on our website, we are happy to send you a risk-free evaluation, no cost to you. We pay for shipping both to you and back to us when you're done. All we ask is you take the time and really give us an opportunity to trial within your location. So anything you want to evaluate, just let us know at meraki.cisco.com/eval. And last but not least, join the community. We have a great community at community.meraki.com, and this is a community of your peers, of current Meraki customers, and it's candid. We don't facilitate any of the conversations or take away or delete anything that is unfavorable or whatnot. So great place to go if you want to talk to other people out there that may be experts or may understand a solution that you're interested in as well. Great place to go. And then we have a really, really exciting promotion going right now called Buy 5 Stream Live. And from now until July 28th, any customer who purchases a combination of 5 high-density MR access points will get a free MV security camera. And I did say free, with a 3-year cloud management license. So those of you on the call that qualify get a free access point for today's webinar. But when you go and purchase 5 high-density access points, you'll even get a free camera as well. And the stipulation is maximum 2 MV cameras per account, and that there are terms and conditions apply. which you can find at meraki.cisco.com/buy5streamlive. So with that said, we have a few moments. If we have any questions, feel free to ask those now. I'd be happy to address them live. So maybe we'll just give it 1 minute. Okay, so one question we did get as I was going through the demonstration today is whether all the features that I covered are available across all the products, whether it's switching or access points. And I think it's a fantastic question. Hopefully I addressed it, but I want to reiterate that anything I showed you today is available to any customer. I'm not showing you the highest tier features or the highest tier products just to get you excited. Everything I showed you, whether you have our MR33 access point, which is a fantastic wave 2 entry level access point, all the way up to our highest level MR53 or 52 4x4 wave 2. You get the same features in both. It's the same license. So, again, we want to make it simple. We don't want to have to worry or have you worry about tiered licensing so you get certain features that you need. Everything is available. So hopefully that answered that question. So since there were no additional questions, we'll go ahead and wrap it up pretty much exactly on time. Again, thank you so much for joining today's webinar. We look forward to talking to you soon. Have a great rest of the day.